Hi everyone, Aaron here bringing you BZPower's review of the LEGO Movie 2, set 70840, Welcome to Apocalypseburg. Now at over 3,100 pieces, as you can see, this is a very large set, so large it barely fits inside my photo tent. Apologies for any less than perfect backdrops you guys might get through this video. This set really feels enormous when you have it in person. And if you can't tell from the photo, it's very large, very dense, and full of tons of amazing details. So watch on to find out what exactly lies beneath the surface of this huge model, my thoughts on it, look at some new minifigures, parts, and things like that. Yeah, let's get started. One of the best parts about Welcome to Apocalypseburg is all of the new and interesting pieces that come in this set. Now, of course, one of the most dominant colors that we get new parts or recolors in is sand green. A lot of these involved in the Lady Liberty statue. Now, some of these parts, such as the large 8x3 curved slopes, are actually really old pieces that haven't appeared for a long time. But we also get some brand new recolors, like the Technic brick with the plus hole in it, the rounded balcony. This is actually an olive green 1x2x3 inverted slope, which is wonderful. We get some clip or bar clip pieces, some plates, wedge plates, rounded plates, all kinds of wonderful parts in sand green, and huge quantities of all of these. Here's another handful of parts I really like from Welcome to Apocalypseburg. Some of them are actually new, and others are just parts that we haven't seen a ton of. For instance, a brand new one, this is the 1x1 pyramid slope in brown, or reddish brown. We get this bracket in dark blay. The bar is fairly new as well, in this color, new I think for 2019. There is the 1 by 1 2/3 by 1 snot brick in dark blue. We get a mohawk in dark brown, which I've personally never seen before. This brick here with that bar on the side in sand blue, a lovely color. Double-sided snot brick in dark tan. I love this spiky yellow piece, which was originally introduced with Nexonites in yellow. Of course, we also get this brand new armor piece for a minifigure, one-sided pauldron with spikes on it. And, of course, I really love itsy bitsy little black lipstick piece, which is going to be very versatile and useful. This set comes with a whopping 12 figures. Let's take a look at all the different ones we get. First of all, and pretty straightforward, we have Emmett, very standard version of him. The high-res vest, and he's holding a coffee from Coffee Unchained. Very similar to the Emmets we receive from any other LEGO movie sets. Here we have the LEGO Movie 2 version of Lucy, which has a really awesome new scarf piece that can wrap around and fit with a quiver. She also has some different pants and a new headpiece that has those goggles attached to it as well. Here is Scribble Cop, or Bad Cop, from the LEGO Movie 1. Just like usual, he has his reverse expression, but this one is the drawn-on marker face that was a pivotal moment in the LEGO Movie 1. Like a lot of the other members of this community, he has some new details worked in for being part of this Apocalypseburg society rather than belonging to straight-up Bricksburg. Here are the DC Universe superheroes and villains that come with Apocalypseburg. We've got Green Lantern, who is wearing some apocalypsy stuff, like this cape, that new shoulder spike piece as well. He has a fun, goofy face on the other side, which I like. Yeah, and these dual molded pants, which are nice and could be used for other minifigures. Of course, Batman, LEGO Movie 2 version, which is a real stellar figure. I love this shoulder armor piece. It's big and cartoonish and very Batman with a big red bat in the middle. The tires are actually molded out of rubber, which is a really nice touch. Makes them feel like real LEGO tires, which is unexpected and definitely didn't have to be done. Then, of course, there is Harley Quinn. the Margot Robbie Suicide Squad version, which I'm not sure LEGO would ever have had a reason to release except for right here, so it's cool that we get it. She's wearing some fishnets, she's got her signature checkerboard design, some cool hair, and a really nice printing job all around, as well as this baseball bat that has some printing on it as well. Ooh. All told, some very cool minifigures, nice additions to the cast. This trio are all characters that made brief appearances in the LEGO Movie 1, but have been very apocalypse-ized to fit in with the new setting. We have Larry the Barista, which is the LEGO collectible minifigure series barista guy, but with some fun new details like a flaming coffee mug and a shoulder piece and a cool respirator and a mohawk. Makes him look a lot more dangerous than the barista figure. There's the "Where are my pants" guy. Still missing his pants, poor thing. He must be looking everywhere for those at this point. The star of a reality show from the LEGO Movie 1, holding a nice hammer. And then there's Chainsaw Dave, formerly Surfer Dave, who has decided to forego his surfing past, as his arm tattoo will tell you, and now favors chainsaws. He holds a nice little chainsaw there too, and I love the classic blonde surfer look. Lastly, we have some new denizens of Apocalypseburg. As far as I'm aware, these people don't have counterparts from the LEGO Movie 1 that they're imitating. First of all, there's Fuse, his name is, with a nice flame-printed welding mask. That's a really cool touch. Underneath of which, he has got an eye patch and a handlebar mustache. We've got Mohawk, the maybe not surprisingly named woman with a mohawk. I love her breastplate. It's got some lovely it's a silver piece with some printed abs and muscle detail. Might be cool for a mythical warrior. Her tool is this this thing with the spikes on it. I'm not really sure exactly what it is. I think Fuse fell over. Last of all, there's Roxy, who is, I think she's some kind of post-apocalyptic barber based on her location in the set. I like the headband. It looks sort of Wonder Woman-esque, and she also wears one of those new spike armor pieces. Before we take a look at some of the internal structures of Apocalypseburg, I thought it'd be fun to take a quick look at the outside of the model as well. So, here, starting down in the bottom corner, we've got our favorite restaurant, Coffee Unchained, which is, of course, a post-apocalyptic Starbucks-style restaurant. Next to that is the super secret police headquarters, which has, I think, a little klaxon emitter for when Duplo enemies are coming through. If we move over to the side here, you can see there's even a little diner seating area outside Coffee Unchained, near where Emmett is standing. Here we've got Chainsaw Dave's little hovel, which is got this death surfboards over to the side. It's maybe tough to see, but underneath this lip right here, there is a VW camper, which is kind of dilapidated, and maybe that's where Chainsaw Dave sleeps. Over on this far corner, I love the robot-headed directional sign, which shows you which way to go towards the lookout up on Lady Liberty, towards Coffee Unchained, or towards the diner, which we'll see in just a moment. Moving on up, here is Lady Liberty's tablet, which makes a ramp starting on your ascent. I love the way that this has been achieved. The angles on it are just genius in terms of the way it slopes up, the way it slopes towards Lady Liberty, and the way that it is angled in myriad directions at once. It's just really well achieved. There's a big old storage unit over here, which is both the barber shop and the cyborg weapon shop. These doors, really neat, actually open up, which is very cool. Really adds to the storage unit feel of this part of the Apocalypseburg. Up here is Wildstyle's residence, which has a lovely little cloth awning covering it. There's some great details in there we'll take a look at. But up top is a water tower, an armchair. Harley Quinn is on top of that armchair. Moving over now to Lady Liberty's face, which is one of my favorite parts of the build. The way that this is achieved, the angles, the techniques used to make such a lifelike or statue-like face at this scale are really terrific. I love the use of the salamis for her eyelids, and of course the way that the lips are achieved to be just slightly offset of each other. Really wonderful. The crown, of course, is very recognizable and achieved using some of those parts that were first introduced with Exoforce many years ago, but I believe new in sand green here. Moving on up as well, we've got a little weather station up here where the Where Are My Pants guy is standing, and all the way up the torch, which of course is achieved using some really nice Technic angles down in the base. We've got a lookout point where Wildstyle is looking out for enemies. I really love the contrast of the sand green and the orange colors of the torch, which of course are some of the brightest colors of the build and really draw the eye all the way up the model. Moving on to the back of Apocalypseburg, we'll start with this ruined chassis of a truck over to the left there, which inside of it there's a cool little bed. You can see that yellow toad, that's the place he likes to bathe, I guess. Over here, on the bottom story of this little ragged shack is the bodybuilding studio that we'll look at in more depth in a moment. On top of that is the food on a stick center or restaurant. I don't know what you'd call it in these days. I love the little the fryer right here. See there, the fries is inside of a big burned out car engine. Over here, little Batman's area with some boxes of Bat merch and part of his Batmobile from the Lego Batman movie. Up here we've got a welder studio, which has a really ingeniously designed upside down tool box, as well as some other odds and ends. You can move up this ladder all the way up to that weather point we demonstrated earlier, which then goes all the way up to the lookout as well. Overall, the shaping on the back is really pretty nicely done. I mean, as you can see a little bit, there's some of the Technic shaping. Oh, and of course there's this little telescope too in the middle, used to achieve the myriad angles of Lady Liberty and the arm and everything like that. While it's not as presentation friendly necessarily as the front of the model, this section does have a lot of fun details as well. Like many other extra large LEGO sets that are out these days, like Ninjago City or the modular buildings, Welcome to Apocalypseburg also features some stunning and brilliant interior details, which are facilitated by or accessed by all of these different removable sections. So, we're going to take a peek inside of all of these different rooms now. Inside of Coffee Unchained, we've got some lovely details. There's the counter where you can get your coffee. I love in the back here these gas tanks, I guess, are where the coffee comes out. And there's even a little rat you can buy for food underneath the glass countertop. Gnarly. Scribble Cop's super secret police headquarters is a little barren. There's not much in there aside from some wanted posters on the ground. The facade on the front is rather nice, but there is one hidden feature here. He's got a chair he's sitting in, and if I pull on this knob right here, we can actually make that blast around the inside of the office. Side note, look at that basketball hoop here. That is some absolutely ingenious parts design right there. Moving on up to the next layer, in here is a barber shop, which has a cool multi-segmented chair. There's some newspapers up front there, and moving next door, there's a weapons shop, armory, which has one of the old super secret police robots on display, and also there's some fun, unusual weapons for sale there too, like this pot-handled spike thing. Some cool details in this part as well. On top of all of this goes Wildstyle's abode, which we can probably better see if it's removed and looked at separately. Here's a closer look inside of Wildstyle's house. As you can see, she's got some little posters of Emmett and Unikitty over there, which are, I guess, her friends. There's the relic generator, or locator, from the Lego Movie 1, and some little Easter eggs. If you remove the top of the bed, just like that, inside of here, we actually have some old letters from Batman, a Batman fill-in for one of these two in case you want to have Lucy get back together with him. And underneath of that, there is, little spoiler for the movie, a popular band poster or album or something on the base of this box. What are you hiding, Lucy? Coming around to the back, there's one more section that removes off to see inside. If you take off the lid of that food on a stick, you actually are left with a fun little gymnasium, which has a punching bag that has, there we go, a Duplo eyeball on it, as well as a fun little bench press right here. Some cool details here in case Batman wants to work more on his ripped pecs. Although no sewer babies are included in this set, there is a little home for them included in here. You pop this open, and there's a little home for them with a robot arm and an egg in case they need somewhere to sleep. Fun detail. One more special detail. Inside Lady Liberty's head, you can take off the top, and there's actually a little bed with a telescope, and I don't know if you can see from this angle, but there's a "Where Are My Pants" poster on that panel, which is kind of a fun little reference to the first movie. Overall, I find this to be a pretty awesome set. The size alone is worth marveling at, but not only is this model big, but it's full of all sorts of really small and well thought out details. Building it was an absolute pleasure as well. There's tons of fun display techniques on display, I should say. You know, and it comes with some amazing parts, as we've seen. Tons of parts, as we've also seen. The minifigures are fun, and some of their pieces are versatile for other themes, like if you wanted to do some Lego Mad Max or things like that. As a display piece, this is a pretty breathtaking silhouette, but I also think it's a really good addition to, like I said, the parts inventory of a builder. I love how Lego does these more advanced sets from their film properties. Just like Ninjago City, this is really a show-stopping set. And while personally I prefer Ninjago City to this, I think it still is a really lovely piece of design that I was very happy to build. Thank you so much to BZPower for sending this set to me, by the way. And thank you for watching. If you want to find out more about this set or see a more in-depth text and image review, you can find that on BZPower.com, where you'll also find all kinds of other LEGO news, discussion, games, and more. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.